Hello, hello, hello. We want to thank everybody again for tuning in to Radio Tribune. We are your hosts. I'm H3.
Yeah, man. PJ.
Johnny B. Rashawn.
And this is the Daily Struggle.
Daily Struggle, man.
Daily Struggle.
Before we start, if anybody wants to tap in, give me the number, bro.
The number 702-984-6843. Any callers that want to call in and talk about anything, man, I know a little touchy situation happened last night. So, anything that people want to talk about, man, y'all just call in 702-984-6843, man. Tap in, man. So, I don't know, man. Hey, so, I don't know, man. First topic that we will discuss is basically I want to talk about how Las Vegas, basically, it makes our youth very materialistic, man. We grow up and we see things a certain way, and we thrive on it, we idolize on it. Like, we gotta have the newest this and the newest that, and everybody just basically tries to live above their means in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be this person or that person instead of being themselves. So I want to tap in on that, on how materialistic just growing up in Las Vegas is. It isn't really anything to do for youth, you know what I mean? So like, we grow up and we just see what our elders are doing here, and just around the world. So
honestly, as far as with that, I feel like a lot of people don't think long term about certain things.
Right.
They just want the money right.
Well, we live in the moment here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We all live in the moment here. So that's just something I want to touch on, man. To talk about, man. We ain't got no cue cards. It's a live show, boy. Hey, but yeah. So I just want to tap in on that, man. Basically, if we can get any callers to talk about that, that's a good subject, man. What I see is basically that Vegas just materializes you, man. It make you want a lot of things that you probably shouldn't want at a certain age, I even see, you got, if you're looking at social media, just as a prime example, like it basically make you to where if you want to take a picture, motherfuckers like, oh, you took a picture in that already. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't wash your clothes and wear
the same thing.
You can't wear the same thing twice a year. You can't do none of that. Like,
everybody want Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Burberry.
Yeah. And then it be fake. It be fake. Everybody like stunting on swap meet clothes.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know.
Swap meet belts.
It's just, honestly, because this is the city of money, man. It's just, you got people that we idolize like Mayweather. He wants you,
Right.
That's just an example. It's just, the example he says is that everybody's supposed to try to get money, and that's just the whole environment in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's all about money. It's all about money for sure.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I see like I don't know what it is in our generation, but if it's an event going on, or just prime example, if it's some type of concert. You gotta know. You're gonna go there before you pay your rent.
Exactly.
You won't even pay your rent. Lights off, but you had fun. You had fun, but your lights off. They got their priorities. Vegas, man, it mess your priorities up a lot. So
all kind of weirdness going on.
Sean, what you got to say, man?
Yeah, you're quiet over
there, man. Tap me in, man. Get too quiet.
And I just feel like everybody trying to be the next, man. They not going about their own, and they see something that he or she likes, they going to copycat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's original.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Oh, no, we're going to talk about that. I just told the homie the same thing. Everybody keeps saying the same thing. Last night.
Then they need to call in.
Yeah, you got to call in. If you
want that discussed, you need to call in and be a part of the show.
Hey, Dre, man, you just call in, man. Call in, man.
702-984-6843.
702-984-6843, man. That's a good topic, though, man. Everybody keeps saying the same thing to me on this live, man. They want to talk about the little situation that happened last night, which is a touchy situation. Little boy got killed last night. So, I'm just saying that's what everybody keep.
Man, they should have called in. They should have called in.
I keep getting comments, Y'all call in about
it. They need to comment on the phone. That's what they need.
I keep getting people, saying the same thing. They all talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. I'm saying more than that than anything, So I don't know, man. Like I said,
let's talk about it.
It's a touchy, it's a touchy situation, man. You know, I don't really want to.
Well, apparently from this executive, they feel like that's really that's tough. Anyway, let's switch topics.
Moving on. Definitely moving on.
Okay, so
I want to ask y'all a question
Go ahead.
from the studio audience. My sister works for a dispensary, a marijuana dispensary, right? And ever since the new laws kicked in on the 1st of July, she says the problem is, man, they can't get the weed to the dispensaries because nobody wants to bring it. Because of the federal laws. It's hard for them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You gotta have all the right paperwork.
They can't get enough weed in to keep up with the orders, man. So a lot of these dispensaries are
what's that since July 1st?
Since
they made the weed legal?
Yeah. I mean, they had pre-orders already.
Right,
leading up to the first,
but
they can't get it there. What do you guys think? How do you think
I
they're going to solve that?
I don't even, you feel me? I don't even really know. I don't really even know about that, to be honest. I didn't know that was going on. But
because it's still illegal to traffic across state.
Yeah, the federal laws kind of, it's going to make people spook to even want to do that.
Yeah.
They do that on purpose, so it's like, so that way certain people can't make money. But they always put stipulations on shit.
Right.
It's like, it's just so that way they can cut out the middleman and do things that way.
I didn't even know they was doing that though. So you basically saying that it's legal, but it's still illegal.
Right there, federally, it's still legal. Right?
It's still a federal offense to bring it across state lines.
And
You
you have
smoking, but how you gonna get it?
How you gonna get it?
And you have Ted Sessions, the Attorney General, and Donald Trump heavy against any kind of illegal marijuana. Yeah, because Donald Trump, Donald Trump's brother died of alcoholism.
Hi, I was just calling in. I think you guys are doing a great job, and I just want to call in and ask about the little boy that happened again.
Oh man, last night it was like a little incident that happened last night. I'm not too familiar with the situation. I keep getting people telling me to chime in on it. So I'm kind of looking for callers that know a little more about it. I've been hearing about it just through social media all day, and they was basically saying a little young boy got killed last night. I don't really know exactly the stipulations of what happened, but I just know a young person got killed last night. I don't really know the details. If somebody want to call in with the details, they can. Or, I have my brother or somebody look it up as we go, and we could just tap in on it. But like I said, I know a young boy got killed last night. To my knowledge, it was by the police. I don't know exactly what happened, you know what I'm saying? But I have been hearing about it all day. So, like I said, if other people want to call in, thank you for the call, too.
All right.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, awesome.
You guys are doing great.
Thank you.
Well,
We got one of the producers on it right now.
Tap in, because you feel me, Drew, you know more than I know. You feel me? I just been seeing it this morning. I don't really know exactly what happened. I've been seeing it on Facebook, but I don't really know the details. You know what I mean? Like, we just had a caller about it, but I can't really get too many specifics or really tap in on it because I don't really know the stipulations of what happened. You feel me? So yeah, I'll tap in about it though. I'm trying to wait till you call. I'm trying to wait till you call for the subject. So if you gonna call, bro. So,
okay, well, as far
whenever
as
you call in, they tap back in. I mean, I don't want to waste the show, you feel me? But just tap in is good. But another thing that we wanted to talk about. What was the other one? It was good. So yeah, another thing that we wanted to talk about, man, was just the differences in relationships as far as like the generations go. Juke, the number 702-984-6843. 702-984-6843. Yeah, but another thing that we want to talk about, man, was like basically how relationships are and in the world in general. You know how you go back to like your grandparents and you go back to like your moms and pops and how people was married 30, 40 years and all that. And shit, I don't know, man. It's a different thing now. Now you kind of you lucky to get a year run out of marriage.
It's funny because our mom, me and PJ, we are biological brothers.
Yeah.
Our mother was just, we called her earlier. She actually was just saying something earlier today about most relationships fall through because of finances. So
yeah, finance is a big issue in relationships, especially nowadays. And I think with the younger generations, you know, even though finance is super heavy, I think a lot of the time with the younger generations, though, social media be a killer, man. It'd be a killer to your relationship because it's like, you know,
It's a lot of distractions.
It's a lot of distractions. You know what I'm saying? You get the right, because before it was a social media, you got to think it really wasn't no way to meet so many people on such a broad scale. It's people in Las Vegas, you know what I'm saying, that certain motherfuckers would have never met if it wasn't through Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
He would find soulmates on Match.com.
Right. So social media is a big
She didn't say that, did he, PJ?
No, that's a real thing, though. That's a real thing, you know what I mean? Like social media really be the killer, like, because, you know, even before all of this, you could really be in a serious type of thing and not have too many distractions. Now you got distractions from everywhere. Yeah. And then you say certain things, you do certain things, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of few, whether it be from the male or the female, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Especially like even if, and it's crazy because it's like a woman to meet you and know your characteristics and still deal with you, and then when they deal with you and it's like they expect immediate change. Like whereas back in a older setting, you would date, you know what I mean? You do all that. You would do that for 2-3 years before you even become in a relationship that was just like, you know, monogamous. You know what I mean? Where you were just the only person I'm gonna deal with. But now, I mean,
I'm gonna tell you why. Speaking from an older person, and me and John can attest to this. Number one, what took so long and why it could take so long,
right,
is because when me and John was dating up, a girl didn't leave the house until she got married.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She felt no pressure
to leave.
Yeah. Because, like, this is my daughter. She can stay there as long as she wants. Right. But it's so many dads not there. The little girl is looking for a dad. Realistically, they're looking for a man.
That's real.
So it's financial. Yeah. They're not dumb. They're looking around like, I need to be taken care of. Yeah. So they need you to switch over to daddy role immediately.
No, that's real.
Immediately. When I was coming up, they had a dad. You had to meet that dad. You had to sit down and
meet the daddy.
He was like, where's your plans? You know what I'm saying? He wanted to know, well, you need to go to college first before you. That's why I am the way I am with my daughter, because, you know what I mean, I feel like if when it comes to that time, you know what I'm saying, it got to be the same way it was when I was growing up. Like when I was in school, I used to have to go to people's houses. That's right. Before I could always meet their daughter like that. So, if anybody's looking at my daughter out there, anybody's looking at my daughter, and I got 5 of them, you gotta talk to me. It was like that. You're right about that. Back then, like when we was going to really. I mean, people had cell phones, but not really like that. Like especially like when I was in junior high school and all that. Yeah, I mean, really wasn't none of that going on. You really had to. I mean, the most you could do was talk on the phone, and I used to get interrupted by that. My mom would pick up the phone. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Going back as far as with the social media thing, I wanted to go on this for a second. Like one thing I noticed too that kills a lot of relationships is a lot of people are completely different people than they are in real life.
Yeah, and that's true. You will meet a person on social media, they're this type of person, they give you this type of characteristics, and then when you meet them in real life, they be douchebags. Yeah, be that catfish, but in real life. A lot of y'all catfish in real life.
Yeah,
in real life.
You gonna cover TV on your
For real. Yeah, that's really you. I mean, that's you.
But it's not really you, though. Another thing with relationships is with the youth, it's just everybody's trying to, like I said, once again, everybody's trying to show off for the next. So
that's really what it is.
Everybody's trying to impress one another.
Everybody want to impress everybody else instead of being yourself, and that's another reason why relationships don't work. I'm telling you, like I do believe finance is like a super thing. Because I mean, once you hit about 25ish. I mean, you got to start getting your motherfucking priorities in order. Especially right nowadays, because like when I was growing up, like you got to think, parents would think, like my grandparents, their generation, if you got pregnant at 18, 19, that was still early. Whereas now, you getting pregnant at 12, 13, 14.
14.
You know what I'm saying? You have babies, and it's like, you feel me, by the time you're 20, you got 4 kids. You 20 with 4 kids, no job, no nothing. So now, really what's left for them type of women, they don't get, I mean, I don't want to be rude, because, you know what I'm saying, but really you get the lowest pick of the litter. You get nothing but gangbangers, you get nothing but
drug dealers.
That's all you're going to get, because now if I'm 21, if I'm a regular dude, you feel me, I'm far from a regular dude. But I'm saying, if I was a regular dude at 21, right? If I was a regular dude at 21, I don't want no bitch with 4 kids at 21. What I'm gonna do with you? So now you getting the lowest pick of the litter, because you got pregnant at 14, you 16, at 17, you got 4 kids by 20. So now me at 21 with no kids or 1 kid, I'm looking at woo.
And girls don't understand that, because I remember, we had a couple of those. Me and John remember. It was like 1 or 2. We had 1 or 2 in the whole area, in the neighborhood. And it was so crazy, because when you went over her house, so you did something like that, and she had the baby. Look, man, there was only one thing on my mind. I was not there to be with you, to date you, to be my girlfriend. I'm looking at you, you already got one, so you easy. Yeah, that's why I'm there. I'm there to do my thing and leave. I'm not there. But the girl with 2 parents, I knew this was going to take a while. I was going to get it, but it's going to take me a long time.
I just had somebody tell me the same thing. You know, they said that she said also drugs make parents absent, and most kids are raising themselves without guidance. And that's true.
Yes.
And that's true. You know what I mean? Because now, you know, like I said, that grandparents' generation, my mom and them had a home. You know what I'm saying? They had a structure. But by the time they had, you got to think sometimes it was too much structure. And then they rebelled, and then they became bad parents. Exactly. So they didn't really get to do nothing like my mom and them, they really didn't get to do nothing like that in their generation. So I don't want to say they was bad parents, but they weren't the best parents, and we rebelled off of that and did us. And a lot of females go through that too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in a certain way.
We got breaking news for you guys. So
okay, let me see. All right. Yeah, it's like in a certain way, man. It just become all bad. Oh, I don't know if this is from yesterday.
Yeah, it was 17 hours ago.
Okay, so just to tap back in on the subject, man, there's a lot of people that want to talk about. We're gonna come back to that, because we have a lot of people commenting on that. Yeah, we're gonna come back on that. We was getting a lot of comments on that subject we were just talking about. But so I just got a little information on the little thing yesterday. I guess it was a burglary suspect. And they saying it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And they got an 11-year-old suspect, you know what I'm saying, that was arrested. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because I feel like at 11 years old, you shouldn't be no burglary suspect. Right? You feel me? I'm gonna keep it real. Don't be bad. You got to remember y'all being out. We was bad, dog. That's true. I'm keeping that around. But you knew the circumstances. Yeah. So this is what I was gonna say. Like at 11 years old, I feel like you shouldn't be a burglary suspect. But at the same time, we don't really know what was going on in his head or in his home either. Because at 11 years old,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a big ass kid. Like we had a wash and dry, so I was all good. I used to run.
But you know what's crazy, it kind of is the parents' fault, because when you that young, man, I feel like they got it, bro. But then again, I can't say it's the parents' fault, because I know another little youngster that got he used to be out, and this was on the west side of Las Vegas, so the little nigga used to be out moving around doing his little thing, whatever the case may be. But now the problem with that was his parents didn't allow him to. He used to sneak out, and then one day he went to a party, snuck out without his mom's permission, ended up getting shot in the head and got killed. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always the parents' fault. Sometimes the parent can do everything they're supposed to do and the kid just rebelled. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say it was always the parents' fault. I don't really know why, you know what I'm saying, this little boy was out there like that. Then they saying it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound that killed his little friend.
Standoff too.
Yeah, with the police. I heard that
Wow.
too. But now, see, I don't really know if the police shot him or because I mean,
They'll
say it's self-inflicted, we don't really know. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes,
So,
if like their job depend on it, sometimes if they know their job depend on it, they'll lie.
but the only reason why kids feel like they need more, we got another comment that say sometimes kids they feel like they need more or need what the next kid got, and their parents, they not doing it. But sometimes I agree with that too, because a lot of times if you're dealing with two parents in the same home, you might not get what you want only because your parents may not feel like you deserve it or whatever the case may be. But when you got friends whose parents are living a different type of lifestyle and their kids are spoiled, or they just, even if they live in a regular lifestyle, they just got more money, you know what I mean? And their kids are spoiled. You seeing that, you got to think that kids are
very impressionable.
They are impressionable, but they mean. So, like, if you going to school a certain way and your kid jaded up all the time, your kid got the newest this and that, and not even that, it's not about being bullied, but if I'm the kid that don't got that, you ain't doing nothing but making fun of me. You know what I'm saying? You antagonize me every day, like, oh, the damn Daniels, and, all of that. You feel me? So, like, my thing is, if I'm 11 or 12 or 13 years old, and every time I go to school, I'm getting picked on because I'm wearing less fashionable things than you, I mean, at some point, I'm probably going to be a burglar or, doing some things I ain't got no business doing just to keep up with the next, which goes back to what we was already just talking about with the first topic on why we so materialistic. Because
a lot of music has something to do with it.
Yeah, music do got a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Influences,
rappers and stuff. What they talk about nowadays is just like
you gotta look a certain way, you gotta be a killer.
You gotta look a certain way, you gotta talk a certain way,
drive nice cars,
and you know what you got is
you right too.
You gotta call him. Radio Tribune, this is the Daily Struggle.
Okay, can you guys back up for a minute and tell me about your 11-year-old boy? Tell me more about that.
I know. See, that's
we just got informed.
Yeah, we just got informed about it ourselves. Like only thing that I know at the moment is that it was supposed to be a burglary. I know they had a little standoff with the police. You know what I mean? And the little boy ended up shot. They say it was self-inflicted. We don't really know if it was self-inflicted, but that's what the media outlets saying, basically, that it was self-inflicted, and it was supposed to be another 11-year-old boy who another suspect, and he got arrested for it too. And even with that, it's just kind of weird because at 11 years old, they will certify him as an adult, and he'll be sitting inside a prison cell. You feel me? By the time he's 12, 13 years old. I mean, yeah, because at 11 years old, I mean, you know right from wrong, but I don't think you know the extent of the real world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, because when out here in Vegas, I mean, they quick to certify you as an adult and send you to a real, you be sitting in the county jail fighting a real case.
Especially if you know what I mean? Like that.
Well, there's now 11-year-old boys or girls idolize until they try to run with them, right?
I mean, I agree with that to a degree. I feel like if I go to work every day and I'm able to afford certain things that certain other people aren't able to afford,
you shouldn't be up to
just because I wouldn't got it and you see me and you don't know how I got mine. So just because you see me wearing these nice clothes or these nice whatever don't mean I have to do something illegal to get it.
Yeah, right.
So now since you don't have it, or you young and impressionable, and you believe because of the way I dress or the type of people I hang around, you assume that we all together, we all do the same thing, and we don't. You know what I mean? So you might run out and do some things that you ain't supposed to be doing, and then by you trying to be like me, I'm getting mine one way, and you doing yours a whole illegal way, and now you in jail. You know what I mean?
I have a thought. All of you guys that are doing it the right way, the right way doesn't get you shot, you need to start mentoring 11-year-old boys.
That's true. You're right about that. I think that's something that we can talk about on another show too. Is that we need to find other ways in the community to reach out to the youngsters, man. Because I've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know that a lot of these kids, they already grown up without fathers because. This group of 11-year-old boys ain't the first group of 11-year-old boys that went to prison and got certified and sent on their way. You know what I mean? I got certified and sent on my way at 16. You know what I mean? He ain't the first, he won't be the last. You know what I mean? But it's messed up, but it's the truth.
What is your guys' opinion? Do you think it's because of our family unit is why 11-year-old boys are getting shot? I feel like this.
To be honest, not to cut you off, Sean, to be honest, I just feel like there's a lot of absent dads in the communities. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of absent dads, whether it be, I mean, I know a lot of people that's in prison for way longer than I feel like they deserve to be. I feel like I know certain people that are in prison for just basically not telling on somebody else, and you sit in prison 12 years because of that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because you grew up a certain way, and this is what we believe in. We believe in not telling on your friends. If I sleep in the same house, eat with you every day, we really friends, you know, we gonna go to work, we gonna go to it's whatever behind that. You know what I mean? So at a young age, like, yeah, I got a girlfriend, or I got whatever I got on the side, but I'm with my friend or my partner every day, and we really struggling together. And then something happens, maybe we did something we wasn't supposed to do. Okay. I'm not gonna tell on that person.
So I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of comments in your feed about as far as the community. Mm-hmm. So what are some things that we can do as far as like bringing the community together? Because I remember back in the day, even as far as gangsters, you know, in drug dealers back in the day, what they would do is sometimes they do shit like bring the whole community turkeys and all kind of shit like that. You feel me?
So really, what we can focus on in America, and I'm talking about everywhere, it is. Even if with your ideas and beliefs, which is a gang mentality, is what I'm hearing anyway, I think that we need to figure out a way to take that and turn that mentality into positive.
Exactly. Yes.
You guys should be ahead of that, by the way.
You know what? Maybe we will.
Just to touch on that, right? Like, I believe and that we do need to do more things for the community, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot that we are not doing that we could be doing just to make things better, you know. And I feel like it's certain leaders in the community, it's certain local people that's leaders in the community, and they could, you know, as people, we all could step up and make changes in the community. And I see another comment that says, you know, division is the problem, and I think because whether it be just gangs or whatever it is, it's a lot of division. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that could unite and make things better for our communities, but really don't.
But they only think about themselves.
You know what I'm saying? You're only thinking about what somebody else is going to think about you. Or if I mess with him, I'm going to be looked at differently. Yep. You know what I mean? So that's why you really don't see a lot of community functions, because you always got them little youngsters or whatever the case may be. Like, even if me as an older person get with this dude that we grew up not liking each other, now we older, we don't care. We're not on that.
Even as far as like
the youngsters they gonna be like, no, let's not do this. You know,
even as far as like within our own race, it's like I noticed, like, even if you see a lot of people, if they see a brother doing better, then I automatically assume he's an Uncle Tom.
Yeah, they don't support. They don't support. They don't support.
You know, they don't support at all. I don't understand why. That's like being racist to your own people. What's that?
I
saw another.
When you racist to your own kind. But don't even look. Don't give me the wrong.
I hate it.
I see another comment that say, like, basically that in the inner cities, our generation, basically, we're not as bonded as we should be. And that just basically goes on to say what I already said. It's just a lot of, if I see you, if you're doing better than me, or if you with this girl, or if you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of hate.
I want to say this, PJ. I want to say this to you guys. And this is big for me. I look in this room, and I'm just going to say this real quick. My wife is more black than I am, right?
Yeah.
You know she's black, right? But I'm just going to say this. What I don't like, and I can say this on you guys' show, I probably can't say it on my show and nobody else's show, but y'all show is so real, and the people listening are so real. I'm going to say this, and I hope they hear it. I know John feels the same way I do, even though John doesn't see race. John, I love this dude because he doesn't see race. He just sees good or bad, right? But coming from a black man myself, my dad sent us to private schools.
Shoot up for me, because I got people listening.
My dad sent us to private schools, and what I noticed in the white communities, they help their own kind.
They do help their own kind.
And I think that's the problem. Me now being a business owner, look at the people in this room.
That's the truth.
To me, if people of color, those are the ones.
That's the truth.
And I ain't got nothing against anybody coming in my businesses, because as long as you got green, I'm going to take it. Right? I want the money. I don't care what color you are. And I know John can back me up on that. But when I see a David when I see you guys, you know, we grab, when I see people that look like me,
Yeah, that's real.
there's nothing wrong with you showing special attention to them. We don't do that.
You looking at it from a
We don't do that.
You're looking at it from an older perspective.
Yes.
Younger people don't do that. You're
Right.
right. That's what we need to.
I would be in a business and it was a pizza parlor.
Right.
And it was Italians that owned it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would notice that when I would come in there, yeah, they would talk to me, okay, tell you dad hi, whatever. When that little Italian kid came in there,
Right.
they took him behind the counter.
Right.
They showed him how to run the business.
Right.
They saw their own,
They took care of
and
that.
they took care of them.
We
And we don't do that as a people, black and Hispanic. We don't do that.
And you know what? You know what?
We
man?
don't.
That's a good thing that you're right about that.
We don't,
because
John.
I feel like as a community, you're right about that. Like I feel like
We should be doing
Yes.
when you deal with Orientals and all that, they growing up teaching their kids how to do this.
Yes.
They growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like they really cater to their own. And we don't really do that. So I
Yes.
agree with that. Like, I mean, but then you got to think about it. There's not enough black entrepreneurs.
Yes.
What are they going to teach me to do on the street?
But Herb said it that we hate on our own. We do. The people that are successful are people. We hate on our own.
That's true. We do.
We hate on our own. It's
We
a
do.
shame. When I see when all that was shooting stuff was going on, and I never forget this,
Right.
I went into a 7-Eleven,
Yeah, you're right.
and there were 3 black kids that came in there, and a Metro police officer came in. And in front of the Metro police officer, because I don't care, they're black kids, I'm black. I said it in front of the Metro police officer that happened to be white.
Right.
I said, listen, I tapped the 3 of them. They probably was 16, 17, 18-year-olds, about your age, David.
Right.
And they said, yes, sir. And I said, look at me. When he tells you to stop and put your damn hands up, you stop. Because I don't want to see another one of mine get shot by him.
Right.
Do you know, you would think he would, He said, you listen to him.
Yeah,
That's what the white officer
You know why he said that?
you listen.
You know why?
Oh my God, dude.
Chris, that one.
He said, you listen to him.
You're right.
You know that one statement that you're
That's
saying?
a hell of a statement, though.
So
That's a
many
hell of a
people's
statement.
lives.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Yes. I want to hear him to hear me tell them that. That at least these 3 right here, they're going to stop when you tell them to stop. I said, when he tells you to stop, you stop. Do you hear me? They say, yes, sir. I said, when he tells you, this man is trained, that's his job. His job's not to figure out what's in your hand. His job is to see your hands like this. So you stop, you put your hands up, you follow his instructions, because I don't want to see you 3 on the news. They said, yes, sir.
You're right. But
They said, yes, sir.
You're right, but then now they take that as a joke. If you,
Right.
you just throw your hands up. Now
Right.
they think you playing or you being racist or you antagonizing.
Absolutely. You're
Ever
right.
since all of my Brown and all the all the things in the world.
But I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure because
You're right about that.
I want to make sure because my dad, and I know your dad, my dad taught me that.
Right.
My dad was real. My dad said these white officers will shoot you in a minute. So when they pulled me over, I immediately said, "Sir, can I get my license?" It's right there. And we don't have always a man at home telling these kids that they think it's a joke to do this. So that it's not funny. It's not funny.
That's what they do.
It's not. And you too.
You know,
When
Chris.
they stop you, you stop.
Chris,
You stop, David.
Chris, the big thing, when you put your hands up like
He's
this,
military.
when you put your hands up like this,
Right.
you may look like you're a fool or you're joking or whatever.
Yes.
But I tell you what, it's hard to prove a justified shooting.
But the thing is, nowadays they don't care. They don't care. They don't see how many.
No. I guarantee you, if your hands are up in the air, they're going to have a hard time proving.
I'm not saying it does not happen.
I hate to disagree.
Yeah. I'm not-
I'm so good. I'm so
Respectfully disagree with one another.
Absolutely.
Because I tell you what, it's hard to prove.
But they don't
Listen
care.
to this. It's hard to prove if your hands in your pockets. They don't know what's in your pocket.
I agree.
When you have your hands up in the air, I guarantee you, it's hard to prove that you have a gun in your hand. You understand? So
I'm gonna say this, and PJ's and John, you're absolutely right. We military, so you know our dads, right? But I'm gonna say this in PJ's defense. I had an encounter with a police officer, Cicero Police in Chicago, which is one of the most. That's where they beat up Martin Luther King. You know where Cicero's at, right? Black people don't go into Cicero. He pulled me over. Sometimes, John, I'm going to tell you this right now. The only thing that saved me was that my dad was military.
Yeah.
When they give you clear commands, you follow those commands.
Right.
Sometimes, PJ, I'm going to tell you right now, the commands can be so confusing, especially when you're scared. I mean, he told me to get out there, step back, put your hand. No, I told you put your hands up. And I was like, what I was doing this. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? He said, stop. He got on the bullhorn. He said, I told you. I said, I was. And then you told me to stand back. Literally, but I stopped and I remembered, okay, this is my dad. Just right. And I went one by one, John. I put him like this, right? But he was giving so many commands. If you are a kid, if you are upset, if you're not used to hearing the discipline, hearing the commands, I'm telling you, some of these kids can get confused. And then don't let you have a little something on you. And this happens. You trying to get rid of that. At the same time, he's telling you trying to do one of these numbers. He's like, I told you, don't move. And you're thinking about the trouble instead of this man's going to shoot you. If you don't move those hands when he tells you, forget the little weed sack. Forget the little crystal sack. Move your damn hands out of your pocket. Because they're trained to shoot.
Exactly.
That's what they're trained to do. Forget this. Forget that little case. I'd rather have that little case than you pull it. Just forget it.
No, that's real.
I think as far as with the black community, one thing I seen on the site, we're doing a lot of like shooting each other too.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the internet, like even I just seen some. It was a post that was like, when you disrespect G Herbo, blah 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 blah. That's what. And it was like I seen a dude like with his brains splattered all over the ground.
This is incredible.
And he just did
That's that generation.
He did a diss track.
He said, you know what he just said? I heard him tell his grandpa, this is nice. This is the kids that you guys are influencing right here. They're 16 years old. He's kind of going through it himself.
Yeah.
He's kind of going, and you guys are helping them, Sean.
That's the youth, you know. Wow. They going through, I mean, their generation is a lot more wild than we were. You know what I mean? Like, my generation was, I don't know, it's just, now
I can't relate because, you know,
I'm a
my pops was always, you know, an athlete. You know, I was always put in sports, so you know, I can't really relate to as of having like crime or anything, you know, involved.
And that's good though. That's a good
I grew
thing.
up playing ball. That's what I love to do still to this day. So.
But see, that's a good thing because it gives hindsight to show you that every home isn't the same. You get what I'm saying? Like you know, like I grew up in a household with two parents. I just rebelled a little more than a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? But like I didn't have to be truthfully honest. I didn't have to. It's just what I chose to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I took I took the the fall for that. You know what I mean? I took the backlash that came with that too. You know what I mean? Because my little brother didn't run away. He stayed there.
Yeah.
And he ain't got no.
You're a lot like me, PJ.
Yeah,
that's why me and you connect. Because we didn't have to. I chose to.
Yeah, I chose to.
I didn't have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I chose to. You know what I mean? My little brother stayed in the household and he grew up with no felonies. You know what I mean?
Well, aren't you a good son?
Just get real. But you know what? It also, to me, in my opinion, it also was because he saw what me and my brother did so much that he didn't make the mistakes that we did.
Honestly, they like not trying to put your business out there. They were gone periodically, like a lot of times throughout my life. So like it was mainly just me and my parents. But you know, like as far as me, I did my own things, but I learned what not to do.
Wow, PJ. PJ, did you used to talk to him? Did you used to sit him down and chop it up with him a little bit?
To be honest, yeah. To be honest, we was gone a lot more. We couldn't really do that. You know what I'm saying? Like we was always in and out. You know what I mean? In and out of jails, in and out of jails, in and out of jails. You know what I mean? So like it was a little difficult to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say that it was a little difficult for us to do. But I know he saw us do a lot of that stuff.
They made sure
you know what I'm saying?
do as I say and not as I do type of mentality.
Yeah.
So they made sure you were on the right track. It was always, bro, don't make me beat your ass doing the same thing we doing.
Yeah, no, for real. Because that's all we did. You know, we ripped and ran the streets and then we got the backlash of it. You know what I'm saying? We got the backlash of it because we ripped and ran the streets. And, you know, basically because of that, I think that's why my little brother didn't really get as much trouble as we did because, you know, he saw us going through all the stuff we went through. You know what I mean? So, I mean, even with that, what was this? Oh, some more on it.
Yeah.
Which page came first? Which page came first? This one? Oh, okay. So basically, this is what, back on the topic of the 11-year-old, you know what I mean? They saying that it happened at 2:37 p.m. The police say 3 juveniles were robbing a home, and no, it's the same one. 3 juveniles was robbing a home and left, but they were spotted in a neighborhood. They say the SWAT team nearby rushed a SWAT team nearby. I guess they found him, and the little boy was shot in the head. So basically, this is what everybody was talking about with the police.
I could have sworn I seen, because I was on the east side, I could have sworn I seen a whole bunch of SWATs going down.
Yeah, I believe that too. This is what everybody was talking about. I don't really know what was going on with the situation, but I guess, and like I said, for people that's just tuning in, yesterday, a little boy was shot in the head and killed. They say, from my knowledge, that I don't really know if the police did it or not, but they're basically saying it happened at 2:37 p.m. It was 3 juveniles. I mean, they were robbing somebody's house or whatever the case may be, and the police spotted them in a nearby neighborhood, and SWAT came or whatever the case may be, and the little boy ended up getting shot in the head. It's a touchy subject because at the same time, I mean, I feel like youth are youth, and I really don't condone in anybody being shot forcefully. Because I feel like if we 3 juveniles and you the what's that called? You the police. You know what I mean? If you're the police, then you have means to take me down without killing me. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have the means to take me down without having to shoot me in my head and kill me. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so I don't necessarily
unless you see me with
necessarily.
like, honestly, you got tasers, you got 3 other people, you got the batons. It's like there's a whole bunch.
It's a whole bunch of other ways
other
that you can take me down.
instantly shoot.
It's other ways you can take me down without having to kill me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's other ways to take me down without necessarily having to use such a broad force to bring me down. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to.
You see the gun. Like,
right, but I mean,
if
you're gonna look at that, anything black you see is gonna be a gun. Anything shiny you see, like it's like my phone without this case is chrome.
Yeah.
So now, if you see me, I look black, I'm black. You see something you don't like, now I got a gun. And the real only thing I got is a cell phone. You know what I mean? So like, I don't necessarily agree.
Mistaken identity.
I don't necessarily agree with it.
Low key is kind of like a double standard because it's like you got a lot of people who really are doing a lot of dirt out here, who really always got guns on them, bro, and at the same time you don't. It's a lot of brothers out here that's just trying to live their life day by day, and then they put us in the same category. That's not the same. You feel me?
They ended up dead. They ended up dead. Like my little brother just said. That's a real thing that's really happening. You got people that's getting really, they're getting killed by the police the same way as people that's actually involved in crimes. You got people that's not really even doing nothing and get killed but you got to think it's because of. I'm not disputing the fact that the police see a lot of people who are doing illegal activities, and some of them claim they're afraid. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like it's this burglary, okay? Like with these 3 youngsters. If this would have been a different race, would have been treated the same way because it's not only black people that commit burglaries. Right. It's more than black people that commit these same burglaries on a day-to-day basis. Right. Would it have been treated the same way? You know what I mean? Probably not. You know what I mean? I don't like to be rude, but probably not.
I doubt if it was 3 little white kids, 11 years old.
They wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? They babies. These was babies that did that. You got 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. They babies. You know what I mean? Like I said, I seen it on Facebook and I seen a post where they basically, like, one of the chicks I follow, that's her son that got killed. And I've been seeing people on her page all day, prayers, sending prayers to her. And the little boy was about 12. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I feel like at 12 years old, you didn't have to use that much force. They probably were scrawny kids. Like scrawny little kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably didn't have to use such force, you know what I mean? So I don't agree with that. And then I feel like in Vegas, like as I was growing up, I used to always hear this about Vegas from older people. And no, I used to just hear, not that I didn't believe it, I used to always hear that Las Vegas is the Mississippi of the West. And I used to hear it. I never understood what it meant. I grew up hearing that Las Vegas is the Mississippi of the West. I'm older, like, people my grandma's age and all that, I used to always hear it. but I never understood what it meant until I got older and I could really look into the history of black people. I could really look into the history of Mississippi and see what was really going on. And then I'm like, wait, damn, we come in, you look at the surrounding states, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, damn, bro, you know, maybe we are.
We are.
I mean, because now, I mean, we got more police than we got more police than citizens.
Police. That's what they said.
There's more police out here than citizens.
We
Las Vegas, Nevada is the number one, like the fastest metropolitan, like growing state. So we got more police than everything. Vegas is. I just seen a comment right now. Vegas is racist. Like, I mean, and I hate to say it like that, but I grew up hearing that so much. And then as I got older and became a black young man, I get to actually see it. Like, you get the racial profile, and you get the, oh, if 4 of y'all are in the group, y'all gang. Like, damn, we're just walking down the street, big gang. You know what I mean? And you really see that. You really see that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I know people that I know with no felonies, never been in trouble, but are in gang foul from high school, walking down the street with 2 or 3 of their buddies. Now, just because you gangbang don't mean I gangbang. Just because I gangbang don't mean Sean gangbang. Sean don't gangbang. Now, the thing about that is, as kids, we walking down the street, and now you putting the gang foul because we just your friends. You know what I mean? And we was kids that played sports like we played sports. So we basically, we might be football team members, right? So now, or we might not be in the game. My big brother could have been in the game. So now, since the police know I'm his little brother, they assume I'm in the same thing. Now they assume Sean in the same thing. Now he in the same gang foul for some shit he never been to in his life. He never even been on that side of town. And he don't know nothing about it. And now he in gang foul. So now when the police see you, have you ever been arrested? No. Well, you're in gang foul. Well, damn, I ain't even in the gang.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, you see that a lot, too. You know, you see that a lot, man.
And that anger, PJ.
Yeah, it is who you associated with. It is. But you got to think, you know, you got to think. It's hard not to be associated with anybody out here because you got to think. That's like saying you ain't going to have no friends.
It's so small out here.
And that anger builds in a kid. This is what now I have interaction differently because I'm a business owner. And when I talk to the police now, she can attest when they come by, it's for community watch. They want to help me, right? Because now I didn't pay you're paying taxes now. You paid your dues. Right. I think back, if I just saw you do 10 years ago or 20 years ago, right? And it's that anger the police don't understand. This is all over the country. Once you do what you just said, and now you stop me, I'm angry now.
Now I hate police
Now I hate you now.
At 10 years old, when you pulled me over and told me
I'm
angry. I hate the police for the rest of my life.
And if I didn't have, and John can attest to this, when I got home, my dad said, listen, don't worry about that. You still got to go. If I didn't have that anger would just fester.
And it would just bubble and bubble
up.
I hate the police.
Now I hate you because I didn't do that. But I was accused now.
But now imagine you got people growing up in neighborhoods that's gangbang neighborhood that don't gangbang, but you grew up in this neighborhood. So now every single person I have spend the night when we growing up as kids, you spend the night in my house. We really friends. Exactly. All y'all from the same neighborhood. You feel me? People looking at me like I'm from over here too because really I'm from over here. I grew up over here. Yeah. My childhood friends, right? Yeah. So now, imagine having to deal with that more than once. Imagine every single time you go somewhere, you're getting pulled over. It builds hatred over time. So now, I get to a point, especially when I feel like I ain't got no warrants, if now I'm grown. So now you can pull me over while I'm driving with no warrants, driver's license, all that. When you pull me over, I'm like, man, what the fuck you pull me over for? Yeah. Because it's so much hate built up. Now, when you're doing a routine traffic stop, I'm like, what the fuck you pull me over for? You shouldn't even pull me over.
You know, my first interaction with the police when I started rebelling a little bit, like you said, PJ, we chose to. Yeah. And I never forget, I was running with the Latin Kings in Chicago. Yeah. But the police knew them. Right. So when they saw them, y'all know what to do, right? Everybody, they knew what to do. Everybody came over. Man, why y'all pulling me? You know, we just walking down the street. Yeah. I never forget coming up, and I'm like, as a soft kid, because I had a mom and dad. My dad was military. I grew up in a bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know nothing, but I was hanging with them. Right. I never forget this, Herb. I was so naive. They talking to them. I turned and started walking away. He said, you too. Right. I never forget that. I was like, me too. You know, I was so goofy. He said, you too. Right. And I was like, what the? And I never, at that point, them became my brothers. Okay, it's me too? All right then. Then we all together then. That's the way
they give you that type of mentality where you feel it's me against you. You're supposed to protect and serve, but I grew up feeling like it's me against you.
And I was a square. I ain't never smoked a cigarette. You too. What is that?
Right. You get on the car too. You ain't did nothing. But see, that's the problem. That's why when these type of things happen, and you got these young kids, right? They don't. That's the thing. Look, I just got a comment that basically said they supposed to protect and serve, but in reality, they got motherfuckers even scared to get protected. Yes. And that's the real. Wow. You know what I mean? That's the real, because like I'm not, me personally. I mean, I can't speak on nobody else. Me personally, I don't deal with it. You know what I mean? Whatever happens to me, I grew up a certain way. Whatever happened to me happened to me. I'm not calling the police. You feel me? But now, I feel like if there's rules and standards and you know, and whether we like it or not, we grew up in these rules because of the demographics we grew up in. You know what I mean? And I feel like, we got 10 minutes left, y'all. I feel like in a certain way, it's messed up because even our grandparents or our fathers, they were treated so foul by the police that over periods of time, we all came up with these rules for us as black people that other races don't have. Don't call the police. Don't talk to the police. Don't communicate with the police. Don't do nothing with the police. So we grew up like, fuck the police. Yeah. That's how we grew up. Yeah. But other races don't see it that way. No. You getting bullied? Okay, we don't call the police for you. We don't look at it like that. You bullying him? Okay, you probably in the bed. You're going to learn about bullying. That's right. We don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we grew up. Yeah. I can't speak on nobody else. It's like Sean grew up a different way than me. You know what I'm saying? My little brother seen it, but he didn't grow up the same way. He had his little spurts where he used to try to be bad. You know what I mean? But he didn't grow up the same way that in the type of things that I grew up in. And the people around me grew up in. We grew up like fuck the police. Yeah. Because they stereotyped us so much and they put us in the same bubble so much that even though we might have grew up over here and we really was good kids just around a bad demographic, you already labeled us as bad kids, so fuck it, why not be bad? We already bad to you anyway. That's right. Fuck it, we might as well do all the things you're accusing me of doing. You steady pulling me over, accusing me of doing it. I might as well do it. That way, if you pull me over, it's not doing it. It's a bad philosophy, but you got to think of the mentality of a young person. But I'm thinking of the mentality of a young person. That's why so many are getting killed. Yeah. That's the mentality of a young person. As a young person, that's how you see it. And this is why this program is so valuable. It's because you're explaining detail by detail what's happening. Yeah, honestly, just watching them, like he said, I was doing my thing for them, but as far as watching them, I see how many times they were unconscious. Look, and it's crazy because we get so many comments. Right? I just seen a comment saying at the end of the day, all the police do not give a fuck about black people. No matter where you live, the hood, the suburb, the West Coast, the East Coast, it's all the same. And it's crazy because I got people following me from everywhere, all over the world, on this Facebook, right? So it's like, you get people that tune in from different cities and they all say the same thing. So it's
everybody can't be crazy. My dad used to say that.
Like if my mom said that, if 5 people say the same thing, it's true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So like, I agree with that comment. You know what I mean? We got 2.5 minutes left, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap the show. But like, I do agree with that. I feel like at the end of the day, they make us feel that way when we're supposed to feel protected. And it's not because we necessarily think that some people don't deserve to be in jail or some people don't deserve to be behind bars, but it's just at the alarming rate that they send us. You know what I mean? They send so many of us so fast over things that you probably shouldn't have got numbers for. Like, I seen people like, okay, because I've been in federal prison. I seen a guy who was a drug user, you know, before we wrapped the show. I seen a guy that was a drug user. Now, anybody that necessarily, you might not necessarily know anything about drugs, but you know about numbers. The guy got caught with like a 0.3. He was a drug user. The freaking crack rock was this big. They gave him 14 years because he was in Alabama. He got 14 years for crack rock this big. He was a black guy, older black man. He been in jail for nothing but petty larcenies, all that. Right. He got caught with crack rock, and they gave him 14 years. It was this big. He got 14 years. So, I mean, I just feel like this is what they do. This is how they, I hate to say it, but you hear those theories of population control, and then it all makes sense when you logically look at it. You know what I mean? Logically, it's like a population control. We take some of you here, we take some of you here, and this is how we'll get you. We're doing it under the law, but we stretch it. We're gonna give you more time than you probably should have got. We don't do it under the law because we don't cover ourselves, but we just gonna give you more time than you probably should have.
Native Americans can tell us about that.
So, you know, of course, we definitely don't have time to get into that one.
Radio Tribune, man. Y'all tune in. We're gonna do this show a lot more, man. Y'all tune in. Thank y'all for all y'all comments, man. Thank y'all for y'all comments, man.
A lot more topics.
Yeah, we got a lot more topics, a lot more things to discuss. We appreciate y'all tuning in. And we're gonna do this all the time, man. We're gonna do this all the time, man.
This is the daily struggle.
Daily struggle, man.
Daily struggle.
All right, y'all.
Wow.